Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of One Bypass, One Stroke, One Survivor with my dad, Bill Daly. And today we're going to talk about things you need to look out for, identify, recognize in the moments the stroke may be occurring or you suspect one is occurring. And the stroke support scientific community, sort of the doctors and nurses, et cetera, who care for and improve stroke awareness and stroke care, have gone to some rather great lengths to help us identify easily what to look for by use of acronyms. And my dad's going to unpack those acronyms, a little of the sort of evolution they've evolved over time, and they've gotten more sophisticated. My dad's going to talk about a little bit about that, and then we'll just kind of break down each letter in these acronyms. So
Right.
Off you go, Dad. What is the acronym? What was the original acronym?
It was FAST, F-A-S-T. F for face, A for arm, S for speech, and T for time. And then it's evolved into BFAST, adding the two letters B and E for balance and eyes. And very recently, within the last couple of months, there's been another addition at the end of the word, ER. So it's be faster. The E and the R represented emergency response.
So let's unpack these one at a time. So let's start with FAST. Originally, it was F.A.S.T. So what were the F was what?
F was for face.
And what are we looking for in a face? I mean, let's talk about each of these words. Face. What are we looking for?
The most common facial expression is that your mouth will droop to either the right or the left side, depending on what side of the brain that you had your stroke. Mm-hmm. I can remember years ago when my grandmother was having a stroke, sitting at our table. I mean, I knew nothing. The whole world knew nothing about stroke at the time. Mm-hmm. There's been no education at the time, but I noticed that her face was drooping to the left and her speech was slurred. And the first thing I said to myself, she's having a stroke. I don't know if it was TV that I saw or whatever it was. F is the first letter. Mm-hmm. At the same time, when you're addressing the patient, we'll call him the patient, or even whether it's yourself and you can look in a mirror, you want to be able to ask the patient to stick their tongue out. And if their tongue droops to either side where the face is hanging, then you're going to have, that's a really good sign.
Is that also part of face?
That's part of face, part of face, yes.
And what's A?
A is arms. So if you're sitting down or standing up, put your both limbs straight out if you possibly can.
Like this?
Like that. Well, in the air, not holding
over
or sitting
my
on
head.
something. No, straight out.
Straight out like this?
Straight out like that,
Okay.
Yes. And if one of your two arms cannot be lifted, it feels too weak,
right.
It doesn't respond as the other one did, that's another indication that there's a stroke involved.
Okay, so we've got face, we've got arms, S.
S is speech.
Okay, what are we looking for out of
Is
speech?
the patient's speech, is it slurred? Ask them a question. Can they respond correctly? I remember seeing a video from the state of Massachusetts where the grandma was baking with her granddaughter, mm-hmm. and she asked, the granddaughter asked her a question, and she responded something totally out of character for her. She asked her again.
So it wasn't just a stretching like I'm drunk. It wasn't just slurred words.
No.
It was some cognitive delays as well.
Definitely cognitive delays also at the same time.
Okay.
And then T, of course, is for time. If you see any of those symptoms, there is just, time is of the essence. Mm-hmm. Time is definitely of the essence. You've got to call 911. If you're by yourself, you've got to be able to reach out to 911. I'm sure there's been a tremendous change in the telephone technology.
Sure.
I know in the state of New Jersey, the state police have told me that they've got a special program now where they're handling 911s. It used to be, and it probably in some areas it still is, you want to be able to use your landline phone because what happens is it shows up on the computer where the operator is, for 911 operator. It has the name of the person that telephone is registered with, and it's got the address, which is the important thing, because at some point in time when you're having a stroke, you may not be able to speak well. If you happen to be, God forbid, unconscious, when that phone call to 911 is made, even if you don't say another word, that's going to register with your name, the name and the address.
So it started out with FAST, and it probably stayed that way for many, many years because it sounds like good advice. I mean, face, arms, speech and time. It sounds like a perfect prescription for combating an emergency like that. Why evolve it? Why add BE? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, B is for balance. Now, FAST doesn't really dictate anything. It doesn't say much about balance. But B is for balance. Mm-hmm. If you get up from a chair and you're stumbling, if you have to hold on to something for fear that you're going to fall, or even if you do fall down, that's one of the first signs that it happened to me. As I mentioned earlier, I had nothing at all that was bothering me except one of my right leg, which is the side I had the stroke on, became very weak.
So you're looking for, just so I'm clear, you're looking for balance issues as well. And it's, I mean, this is probably self-explanatory. Some of you are probably thinking, well, no, duh, if they're having a stroke and it affects the brain and it affects arms and all these other parts, why wouldn't it also affect that motor skill, the ability to stay centered in your chair or upright? So, okay, that makes sense. What about E?
E is for eyes.
What am I looking for out of my eyes?
Blurred vision or double vision.
Okay, so that's the patient expressing the double vision or blurred vision. It's not something that I, as a spectator, can see in you. You're going to have to kind of declare that.
Exactly. Clarity would have to come from you.
And so what's interesting is while we were preparing this video, literally just a few days ago, my father was sharing with me that he wanted to make a video about this. And he said that an organization that advocates on behalf of stroke survivors came up with a suffix, something on the other end of FAST, ER. And let's talk a little bit about why they added an ER. So it's gone from FAST to be faster. So what is the ER?
And ER is for emergency response. It kind of like ties into time. I just did, within the last 2 weeks, have an emergency because I was feeling very dizzy. And my wife called the ambulance knowing what I had gone through. And all of the things that they asked me were magnified in that be fast situation. The ER is for emergency response. They were there immediately. They had me stick out my tongue, and all the things that she went through, I had been through many times before, and I knew what she was doing, and I applauded what they were doing. To myself, I did. But the emergency response, ER at the end, is, along with T, time is calling for an emergency response. As soon as the first responders get there, whether it be EMTs, EMRs, the police, that's exactly what you want. You want to have somebody there to assist you.
So this organization added the E and the R, even though, again, it probably seems rather obvious to a lot of your viewers. They added ER probably because even if it does seem obvious, they want to make sure it's crystal clear. That you need emergency response immediately, instantly.
There are too many people. And the figure I had from years ago, I don't even want to say because it's mind-boggling. There are too many people that don't respond quickly enough. I don't feel good. I'm going to lay down. I'll do this. Then your husband goes to work. Your wife goes to work. You're by yourself. It's that important that if any of these signs are seen, you've got to call 911.
I worked in healthcare as a 20-something. I drew bloods in a hospital. An important job in the big picture, but I spoke to a lot of cardiologists and a lot of people who dealt with stroke and heart disease and things like that. And this one doctor once said to me, and I was a young 20-something, but it really struck me as pretty profound. He said, the graveyards are full of people with indigestion and headaches. And he's referring to people who are having heart attacks or strokes because too often we want to self-diagnose the problem away. We want to shoo it away. I'm fine. Right. But be faster helps folks identify the telltale symptoms that this is not a headache, that this is not something to be casual and dismissive about.
And in the era that we're in right now, there are so many people, and a lot from what I understand, that are not taking advantage of this particular situation because they're afraid to go to a hospital. They think they're going to go to a hospital, they're going to want to get into coronavirus. So that's, unfortunately, that's another hurdle that we have to cross.
Right. So that's it. My dad...
No.
We're not done?
That's not it. No.
Oh.
No, there are two things I want to bring to your attention.
The floor is yours.
I'm just getting back to the word FAST, F-A-S-T, okay. Because a few years ago, there were videos made for children. Now, I spent some of the times I was volunteering in another hospital that had a large blow-up brain, and they would bring in fifth graders from all over the county to walk through this brain, and there were different things different programs that we had for them. This video, it's hip-hop video. If you just Google F.A.S.T, hip-hop video, you'll see a 3-minute and 16-second little video on what FAST means, with ambulance attendants, a hospital attendant, and a patient singing the FAST song. So if you've got any children, any grandchildren that you think would be it would be apropos to let them see that, it's in a hip hop song, so that's what kids are into nowadays. I think it's a great it's a great tool to teach kids about stroke. And secondly, for those of you, I'm just going to say, also Google Retreat and Refresh Camp. This is a company that has been running camps all over the country.
What is it called?
It's Retreat and Refresh Camp.
Okay.
Okay? I'll leave it with that. It's too much for me to explain, too much time it will take. But it'll open up some ideas, and maybe some corporate sponsors might be looking to help out different people in different areas.
What is it? What is
It's a camp. It's a go-away camp for stroke survivors and caregivers.
Oh, I was trying to find
it's
why you were promoting.
why I was promoting camp.
I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, I don't want to stop you again. Are we done now?
I think so.
Anything else you wanted to add?
Well, the only thing was that
This is voyeuristic TV at its best. I have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth moment to moment.
I just want to say that using the word acronym is a thrill for me. Using the word, what was the word I forgot what it was.
I have no idea.
Oh, Scott, don't tell me that.
You were gonna. I think this is my dad trying to make a joke, but he's failing to remember the punchline.
I'm not trying to make a joke, and I just forgot the word.
Assimilate? Was it assimilate?
No,
is it
no.
acclimate?
No.
I have no
All right,
idea.
next time we'll all be on the edge of our chairs.
Yeah, I'm sure the viewers
I'm really
are.
pissed off right now that I can't remember it. Okay, listen, thanks for stopping.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
The camera is there, Dad. This is a light.
Oh.
This is a camera. You've been staring at this light the whole video.
Oh.
That's the camera.
Oh, acquiesce. That's the word.
Say goodbye to the camera, please.
Acquiesce, yeah.
Say goodbye to not the light. Don't say goodbye.
Okay.
Say goodbye.
Thanks for stopping in. And every time I can use that word acquiesce, I get chills in my body I haven't felt in years.
Well, I need you to acquiesce now so I can finish our video.
Okay, we're done.
Thanks, everybody. Please like and subscribe to my dad's channel. Like the video, add some comments if you have questions. My dad is looking forward to hearing questions from you, and we can make some videos around that. So thanks again for checking it out, and please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
We good.